Liam Rosenior has officially secured his first ever Champions League win. But let's be real, it was a proper 1-0 grind. From Moisés Caicedo masterclass to Liam Rosenior's tactical flexibility. And yes, we have to talk about the finishing problem. Let's discuss and break down the 5 things we learned from Chelsea narrow and new win over Pafos. But before we dive into this video, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. But if you have been following me for a while, you know the drips. Help your boy get to that 10k subscriber mark. Let's dive into it. Look, I'm not going to even sugarcoat it. A win is a win. But my God, that was a tough watch. I'm pretty sure half of the Stamford Bridge was checking their eyelids for light leak by the 60th minute. I can't lie guys, I actually caught a few sleep during the second half. It definitely wasn't the vintage, free-flowing Chelsea display we were dreaming of against the Cyprus champions. It was a grind, a snooze fest, but at the end of the day, a 1-0 in Champions League is massive. Those 3 points are the only thing keeping us in the conversation for a crucial top 8 finish. So if you managed to stay awake, or even if you did it, sit tight. Let's break down 5 things we learned from Chelsea's nerve-wracking narrow win over Pafos. Starting with General Moisés Caicedo. Let's talk about the man of the hour. When our attackers were struggling to find a breakthrough, God bless their heart, it was General Moisés Caicedo who decided enough was enough. In the 78th minute, he popped up with a header that wasn't just a goal. It was a reward for his shifts where he literally covered every single blade of grass on that pitch. I'm talking about a monster 8.7 rating. Just look at this metric for a defensive midfielder. It's actually insane. 1 goal, 1 big chance created, 3 key passes, 96% pass accuracy, 4 shots, 4 on target, 105 touches. Moisés Caicedo had 4 of Chelsea's 7 shots on target, the most he had in a single game for the Blues in all competition. Think about that for a second. Our DM had half of our shots on target. He was out there playing FIFA on semi-pro while everyone else was stuck in legendary. When asked about breaking down Pafos' low block, the general said, "It was so difficult, but we controlled the game really well." And that was important for us because in every moment we are going to score more goals. Seriously, I love the optimism, but more goals might be a stretch for a 1-0 win. But look, for a DM to put up these numbers, that's pure class. And that's why he's my general. But he wasn't totally alone. My captain Rich James put in a solid 46 minutes. He dropped a 7.3 rating with 89 touches and 96 pass accuracy. He looked sharp in the first half, which is exactly what we need to see. And Enzo Fernandez playing in the 10 row, he was solid too. 7.2 rating, 3 key passes. He actually completed his dribbles, even when the midfield felt a bit disjointed and we were all nodding off. Caicedo's ability to break up play and arrive in the box late proved one thing. He's becoming an undisputed leader of this team. Which brings me to the second thing we learned. Liam Rosenior tactical flexibility. Now let's talk about the man in the dugout. Managing his first Champions League game is a massive ask. I'll probably be shaking like a leaf. But Liam Rosenior showed he isn't afraid to get a bit mad scientist with the lineup. He went with an 11 that looks like this. Jorgensen, Gusto, Chalobah, Fofana, Badiashile, Hato, Caicedo, James, Pedro Neto, Enzo Fernandez, Garnacho, and Delap. Starting with James in the midfield alongside the general was a bold move. He wanted to park the bus in the middle of the pitch, control the tempo, while it actually took a minute to click. That defensive stability allowed our fullbacks to actually push so high that they were literally playing as wingers. And the history book liked what they saw. Liam Rosenior becomes the first Chelsea manager to win his first Champions League game in charge since Thomas Tuchel in 2021. If he's following Thomas Tuchel blueprints, I'm not complaining. Now, I know we all are crying for a bit extra spice up front, but Liam Rosenior was quick to remind us that defense wins championships. He said, "I know fans want to come and see goals, but for me, 2 clean sheets in a row, when it's been a long time since that happened, it's a positive thing. And my job is to keep building us and keep being in game and keep trying to win games." Fair play, Gaffer. And honestly, the defense earned that praise. We limited them to 4 shots on it. Wesley Fofana was an absolute mountain. An 8.1 rating, 5 defensive contribution, 9 recoveries, 1 interception, 2 clearance, 3 ground duel won, 1 big chance created, 2 key passes. And he was dribbled past 0 times. And shout out to Benoit Badiashile, a solid 7.3 rating, 2 defensive contribution, 1 interception, 1 shot block, 5 recoveries. Also never dribbled past and stayed switched on the whole night. But what I really loved was Liam Rosenior tactical pivot. Seeing the game stalling at 0-0, he didn't just sit there, he made the double sub at halftime, bringing in wonderkid Exoval and Robert Sanchez after Jorgensen picked up a knock. The second Exoval stepped on the pitch. He injected that flair we have been starving for. He was dancing past defenders, forcing saves, and basically making Pafos low block, which they stayed in Cyprus. It showed us that Liam Rosenior isn't just a plan A manager. He knows how to turn the dial when things get stagnant, which brings me directly into the third thing we learned. Where is the finishing? As much as I love the clean sheet, our finishing tonight was stressful, man. It was genuinely painful. We dominated possession, we spent the whole night peppering Pafos goal, and yet we had only one goal to show for it. I mean, look at the stats. We weren't just passing the ball, we were playing keep away at history level. Chelsea had a passing accuracy of 94.5% against Pafos, the highest on the record since 2003-2004 in a single Champions League match. Highest since 2003. That's insane. We were moving the ball like prime Barcelona, but when it comes to putting it in the net, we lack the killer instinct. We had over 70% possession, 21 shots, 5 big chances created. The XG battle was a slaughter. Chelsea's 1.83 to Pafos 0.17. They barely sniffed our goal. In fact, Pafos are yet to score away from home in the UEFA Champions League, with 2-0-0 draw being followed by a 2-0 loss at Juventus last time out. We knew they weren't going to score, but we still made it look like hard work. Leon Delap, he was a total no-show today. A 6.3 rating, only 2 shots, both got blocked. And honestly, he looked starved of service. And Alejandro Garnacho, he was trying, he really was. He finished with a 7.5 rating, created a big chance, and had 3 shots, but he also missed 1 big chance. And getting crowded by Pafos defenders every single time he breathed. It's really highlighted the Cole Palmer-shaped hole in this team. When Palmer isn't there to weave his magic, we struggle to unlock this deep-sitting, disciplined European defense. It's all well and good having 94% pass accuracy against Pafos, but one thing we can't afford to be is to be wasteful against Napoli next week. If we give them that many opportunities to breathe, they will punish us. We need to find that clinical edge, and we need to find it fast. We survived the snooze fest, but the no Palmer, no party vibes was real. And that leads me to the fourth thing we learned. Our depth is our greatest asset. One thing that was crystal clear tonight was that our bench was absolutely stacked. I'm looking at the team sheet and I'm thinking, is this even fair? Liam Rosenior made 6 changes to the side that beats Brentford, and we still had enough quality to make the opposition head spin. The fact that we look at the bench and see Extoval, Jimmy Gittins and Mark Grella waiting to be unleashed, that's frightening to our opponents. It's like bringing a bazooka to a knife fight. But let's talk about the big man between the sticks. Philip Jorgensen had to come off, and Robert Sanchez stepped in the second half and was an absolute standout. 7.0 rating, 45 minutes played, 2 huge saves, 1 save from inside the box, and 1 massive punch. He looked sharp, focused, and ready. And then we have got Jimmy Gittins coming on for Garnacho for the final 20 minutes. He dropped a 6.9 rating, and even though he didn't register a shot, he had 16 touches, 4 successful dribbles. He was out there moving like a ghost. Defenders literally couldn't touch him. Even up top, while Liam Delap didn't get his name in the score sheet, we have to appreciate the shift he put there. His physicality was a problem for defenders. He's out there wrestling center backs, taking the hits, creating chaos and space that General Caicedo eventually exploited for the winner. Whether we are rotating the 11 or making both tactical tweaks at the halftime, the sheer depth of this squad means we can wear teams down until they eventually snap. It wasn't pretty, but having this many options is exactly the reason why we are competing in all fronts. Which brings me to the last and final thing we learned. Stamford Bridge is a fortress again. And finally, let's talk about the ground we call home. Say what you want about the performance, but here is an undeniable truth. Stamford Bridge is a fortress. That win makes it a teen European group or league stage games unbeaten at Stamford Bridge. Think about that, even when the display is labeled. And trust me, tonight was the definition of labeled. There is just this sense of inevitability when teams travels to West London. You can park the bus, you can waste time, but eventually the bridge is going to claim its prize. The fans stayed patient, the team kept on knocking, and the atmosphere stayed solid. It's becoming one of the hardest places in Europe for an away team to snatch even a point. We're officially in the green zone. We sit 8th in the league phase, which is exactly where we need to be. But the job isn't done. The final boss is waiting. Next up, it's a date with destiny against Antonio Conte's Napoli. It's the master versus the apprentice. A victory in our final match would guarantee us a direct ticket to the round of 16. No February playoff, no extra stress, just direct to the big stage. It wasn't vintage, it wasn't champagne Chelsea, but we got the job done. 3 points in the bag, another clean sheet for the Gaffer, and the General has his first Champions League winner. And with that said, that's the end of the video, my friends. Make sure you smash the like button if you survived this news fest. It go be.